So what we're going to look at now is basically the media management of the different images, video, backgrounds, all those things that kind of go into what really makes Propresenter a very powerful and useful tool. So let's click back here, and we're back to where we were. One quick feature that I had to figure out just now is that you'll notice that each song is displayed separately, so you can run it this way and I have no problem with that. So you can just cycle through and transition from song to song, or you can run it basically as one flow line. So, and this is currently how most of the time we have it set up, so it just progresses from one song to the next. So now if you'll notice, we have these backgrounds and things like that, and here's our welcome that we normally have going on. So in our welcome, we have this countdown timer, so you can hear it go in here. So we have that. The week that I exported for us, we have our My Hope.
Millions of people are searching.
So we have a video going on that week. So we have all that is available. And then I'm just going to pull in our announcements, because these are usually week in, week out things that are going on. So here we are, and this is basically kind of something that would be very similar to what's going on Sunday mornings. Now let's look at our media properties. So here we have Healer, and here is our media background. And so let's pull up our video image, and you'll see what we have is you have here your videos and images. And so what I have done is I've broken down them even further. You can create different playlists. So say you only want background, say you want purple background. So for the most part, all of these things are already done for you, but just so you are aware of what's going on and the way things work. So you can look, here's a different background, here's another background, here's this. So all of these are found in the background area of the media manager. Now let's say, okay, I like that background, but I feel like this background better suits our song. And so how do I get this up there? Well, it's simple. You hold down Command. It'll be more than likely Control on Windows. I'm not 100% sure on that, but you just simply hold down Command and slide it over, and now that is our new background slide. So I'm working on integrating slides into new and better features, but for now that's kind of how we're doing things. So there's your background slide. Now let's say, okay, I really like this background, but I want to change its properties. Now there's two different ways we can do this. So you can do this in the media manager itself, is you can actually change the properties of what it looks like. So let's go down here, we'll do media properties. So and here we have it, in its fullness and glory, and let's say, okay, I want it to have a sepia look. So there's kind of that washed out look. I want to invert the colors. So you have all these that are even available for you just as kind of preset things going on. So those are their effects. I don't want that. So now let's say I want a different kind of hue, which hue is the technical term for basically colors. So let's say, I want this to be more of a purple, and then your saturation, that's how intense your colors are. So okay, this is going to get really intense. No, I want it to be, it's almost black and white at that point. So we're just going to bring it up a little bit. Your contrast, that's basically your contrast. That's self-explanatory. So now we see huge contrast here. Okay, there's no contrast. So we're just going to bring that back to where it was. And then brightness, obviously, it brightens everything or it darkens everything. So then let's say, I don't really like that. We can always reset it to where it was. So we can do that within the media property itself, which is fine. And then right over here, I just received a wonderful text message. And then right over here, so I'm going to close this down, is you can actually do that right here, media properties. And this will actually manage it for this particular slide. So it's only managing this media property right here. So let's say we want that purple or that green in this case. So let's make a nice kind of purplish color. And we're done. So now you see here we are with our purple. So now if we go back in here, you still see the original file is still its true natural color. So this is the way I prefer to do it because each song can take kind of a different aspect of that image on its own. So, and that's true for all of these. I mean, you can come over here, I think, here's this one. Let's change. Now let's change something different. Let's say, okay, I really like this light. But I prefer this light to be up there. Obviously, our words are up here normally, so we don't like that. But we can actually flip it vertically. So just really simple. You can flip it horizontally as well. So you can make those things happen. Just real simple, easy things that really enhance what we're doing overall. Currently the behavior is loop. So what that means is it's from start to stop. It will keep going and going and going. So you see it down here. And what does it do? It starts back over. So let's say, oh, I don't want it to do that. I want it to palindrome. So what does that mean? That means that here we are. So and then, well, it's actually not doing it. But basically that means it goes back and forth. So it runs forward then backwards. And then we can also set an input and an output, but that gets really intense. So for example, let's say I like the feature right there. I can click in. And then I want it to keep going, but right here I want it to stop. So we can click an out right there. So what that will do is only that area of the movie will play. Most of these, again, you probably will not be using, but just wanting to let you know what is available in Propresenter as far as our media. So the last thing I want us to look at is some properties and just making sure that we're constantly, I want us to be organized in our backgrounds and our foregrounds. And the reason being is because that can create some issues overall. So let's say, we have this going on, and this is fine because we have a background, so that's running behind everything, and it's being overlaid by our words, which is our goal during worship. But now let's say, we're at God Bless, or we're welcoming everyone and we have a welcome slide up. Now notice how there's all of this on our backgrounds. So we don't want that to happen. So we want, whenever I select the welcome, we want that to override everything else. An example would be whenever you select logo, it overrides everything else. So see, there's nothing else going on. So the reason our welcome sign can be overridden by words or text or anything else is that it's currently in our backgrounds folder. And a simple fix will be to move it to our foreground. So you just slide it over, move it to foregrounds, and now there it is. So let's say we're going along here, here's our song, and then we want to go to a welcome slide, and it overrides everything. So basically our foregrounds work just like our logo does, and override. So this is extremely important. For example, let's say here's our My Hope video. That's playing. We don't want to see words going on with our My Hope. So this needs to be in our foregrounds. So now we select it and it overrides everything else. So this is an important feature, and we'll be moving forward here shortly. So that gives you kind of an idea of how to edit and manage even the media properties themselves, which that's an amazing, unbelievable tool, because what it brings is, in a limited number of backgrounds, you can actually bring a diverse set of presentations using just the colors. You can move the speed and slow it down and things like that. Up next, we will look at managing actually the slides. You'll notice this slide, for example, is marked with different colors according to what its functions, and then this slide is not marked so much. So I'll show you how to manage our songs, and then also how to import PowerPoints. Oh,